back to the tower. So before that conversation, Dex and Arisa, while you were gone, had figured out how to hook up her self that's in the tower to the obelisk system. Yeah, and she was able to fully integrate to it and kind of reincarnate as a proper ghost rather than a half ghost. So there were some conversations about what to do next. As we discussed today in the Discord, Irenaeus was suggesting that maybe you guys could wait to go to the mountains until she's back. And the down south, the boat that your shipwright Nami has been working on for the past few weeks is in working order, and you have a sailor there ready to go. There were some debates on whether you send these people out exploring on their own down the coastline, or if you guys are going to commandeer that boat to get going. So these things are up to you now where you currently are. Redshift is underway and just clearing up. We don't have any really valid downtime activities at this place, but one thing that I think we forgot to do last time is take note of the loot that you guys found, and this can probably be for in universe wise stuff that you are able to trade in when you get back to one of the other obelisks. But you guys had a bunch of loot in that bag that you took from that salamander, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So feel free to split it however you guys like. It does come out to, I believe it was mostly silver and gold and Veshan coins. And it comes out to 500 marks for the whole bag of stuff. So how would you like to allocate this? We can allocate it now, and then you guys can just hand over that bag when you get to a better location.
Why? Well, I mean, we could allocate it now, and then everybody could hand it off and get it exchanged for marks if they want marks.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, like whenever you guys make it back to your one of your safe houses where you can actually do this.
I'm also saying because I like shinies, so I might not turn all of them into marks.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say getting the marks, but trying to first take the time to restore them and see what sort of potential historical significance any of the items may have. If there's anything that might help us to know about them before we pass them along to what will eventually end up to going to Mercutio and then down the road.
It's pretty much just aside from the actual coinage, it looks like it's just looted silverware and candlesticks. It seems like wherever this salamander took these from must have been some kind of manor or something like that found out in the zone.
I would.
Sorry, what was that?
Candelabras?
Candelabras, yeah. I would say then, if they look in any way particularly unique or not of a kind of conventional or standard style that we would really see anywhere else in the world, to have that made note of when passing along, in case art historians, for example, would be more interested in and be able to do more with it than just being sold as antique.
Oh yeah. These things could probably, at least some of them, make it into a museum.
Because he can guarantee at least some of them get into a museum, even if actual historians don't like that for any historical reason. He
I
has
think I'd
people
like
who
to
are
suggest
literally
that
collecting oddities for the sake of collecting oddities.
no matter what we come up with as a way of splitting it, that we allocate a share for the base. So if there were 6 of us there, then we divide it by 7.
Bully.
Just to ensure that the commission gets a share of the loot to help further and forward the growth of the bases.
I agree, but at the same time, I
suggest that, and I agree with him.
I spent most of my stash getting the places upgraded the last time, so I'd kind of like to replenish my sources so I can maybe get some better clothes and something that's going to accommodate this fire gland.
But dear Nimbus, you wouldn't have had the opportunity to replenish your stocks without the grave wonders and sacrifices of the base and those who go towards it. A small allocation, maybe not evenly split amongst evenly split amongst us, but not amongst the base as well.
I wrote a check for 1,700 marks the last time I was in Orvis. I think I can take a little time to replenish my stocks again.
Right, I'm bankrupted. That said, Orvis can take my share. I'm not really eating anything right now. Until Orvis gets upgraded, I actually don't have anything to spend money on.
We actually upgraded it. That's why we threw the money.
It is level level 5 now.
All right, I think we all threw some money at it.
Yeah.
So to ensure that we could get that done. So I think we're all feeling maybe a little bit pinched, but right.
It's however,
as mentioned, there's no place here to spend it. So what the hell?
I don't know what you mean. There's plenty of products and crafts.
Making shit tons of things.
I also agree that Nimbus spent quite a lot for upgrading the base. So somebody do that math.
There's potions to be had. Every downtime we can be buying more and more potions, have more heals and other accessory things off of Soriana. So there's money to be spent.
I suppose that's true.
Always equipment upgrades. Things can be silvered now.
I'm honestly eyeballing a full plate set, so
yeah.
Nice. I don't know that there's much that I can do in the way of any kind of upgrade. Maybe staff.
Yeah, if you kind of hold out for whatever the cost of a +1's going to be. We don't have +1s yet, do we? At level 5.
No, the best I could do is silver plate my hammer.
Yep. Silver's cool.
Yeah, it seems like we had this conversation some 4 or 5 months ago. So I think most of us are sitting about where we can. So I just thought I would toss it out there to make sure that we allocate something for the upgrades, but you made a good point.
And just so you guys know, along with that 500, you're each getting 30 just for the job.
Nice.
So,
right, just as pay.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and add that.
I bet you could actually have the Empire send rare and exotic animals so that you can study them and learn how to use their abilities for your own self.
Tricky.
Yeah, because we also have OOC, what's in the book that tells me what I can actually learn or use yet.
Yep.
So,
well, if you find something close enough, and then find like a reskin stat block, that's also cool. That sort of thing is fine.
Something like from Pazio.
I mean, like if you have the if you have the crocodile stat block and you want to make it a Komodo dragon instead, that sort of thing is totally cool.
Okay. I tend to use the shapeshifting only as functional utility, so.
One thing that I find very amusing is that Naya's been able to turn into a massive snake since day one, but is incapable of shapeshifting into a fly.
Right.
Yep.
Go figure.
That's
wings.
True.
Because once you can, the way I see it is anything that can just kind of go across the flat plain terrain, no problem. Anything that can dive deep and swim, okay, well that's some sort of bonus. But really, escaping gravity, that's where it gets nice. So no, at level 8, when you can turn into something that flies, that's heavy enough to carry.
Yeah,
stuff.
the ability to fly may suddenly reduce the amount of utility I spend.
Especially
with shapeshifting.
With the Circle of the Moon, the ones that are the more adept shapeshifters, having like a CR2 plus creature, it's like, oh yeah, I'm like a freaking griffin now.
Yeah, they can do all that. All right, so how do you guys want to split this? There's 500, not counting the 30 that you each get. Yeah, Montlaur will keep his pay. If we divide it by 7, like you guys were saying, that's 490, and then 10 extra.
Yeah, the 10 extra should just go to the base and
I was gonna say that. Yeah,
the most.
Okay, so we put 80 in the base, and then you all get 70 each.
I'm
actually okay with
we
that.
should definitely get the high end of the split. So the base should get like 5%. No, it would. But I mean, maybe that is the best way to do it. The 70 and then, yeah, we should get the highest end of the split though. I'm saying like 95 party, 5% base.
I mean, you are splitting it 7 ways. So
yes,
right.
The party is collectively getting the most.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that the party did get the most.
Yeah, Alvis is suggesting that like we give 25 credits to the base and then split the rest 6 ways.
Yeah. I am saying that we split it 5% towards the base, 95% towards the party, and then split the 95% amongst us.
So let's see, 475 by 6. That's not even. What's our divisor by 6 at like a bit up here? Let's see. 6 times 80.
480.
480 might work. Yeah. So give 20 to the base, and then you guys can get 80 each.
See that gives me the jiggles. I like that.
I'm actually okay with that. I just now looked over my sheet and I don't have any marks written down, which means I'm pretty sure I spent.
I think you gave them all to the base.
Yeah, I think I gave them all to the base last time. So
okay,
I'm happy to get 80.
So everybody then, if everybody's happy with that, you can all split the treasure into 80 each. You'll get your 30 marks as well as pay. And I will mark down 20 going to the main base. And then Montlaur, you wanted to also give your 80 to the main base? Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay. So I will mark down that we've given these to you. You've got your loot. And we will mark 20 out of 500 to main base.
And you did say that this treasure that is being converted into marks right now, quote, they are in historical goods. If
Alvistaver would like to pull out the silverware, basically.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I could
his share. You could definitely just pick out a couple things.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I could take 40 marks worth of what I got there in my 80 and leave them as goods that I could send to.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds fine.
To the guild. Show off that I'm being a good student. I'm learning and collecting things for them as their agent as well.
Nice.
Maybe one day
all right.
I'll have a collection myself.
Work that out on your side. And I'll give another 80 to Irenaeus to make sure she's keeping them.
Yeah, Nimbus, just add 50 marks to your stash.
Wait.
And then
50?
50.
50. I thought we were getting 110.
Yeah.
On top of that, she said.
On top of that.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Yep.
I mean, you don't have to do that. Like, realistically, I have 770 without yours. I'm not like broke. It's just it's 250 to 500 to throw for these damn scrolls.
Well, you put in a lot more, a hell of a lot more than I did to get the base upgraded. So I'm throwing you something.
Well, I appreciate it.
You know? Yep.
Now then, what was the plan for this week's adventure?
Sir, did we have a long rest or a short rest?
Yes, you guys have a long rest.
Okay.
Redshift has come and is about to go.
There, button. Long rest.
Please slap the long rest button once. Everybody can do it unless you've done it already last time, in which case please don't cheat.
I don't think it would have mattered for me because my hit dice were full anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
That's funny. I was going to say I hit it, but I don't think it matters.
So, Arisa has spent most of the Redshift kind of just getting a feel for having a sort of body again.
She'd be bopping around the network? I would be.
Oh, plenty, yeah. She's been going back and forth. She's had the chance to finally actually introduce herself to the Brigadier and anybody else who hasn't been run off from the obelisk by her.
What about the I can't remember his name. The ghost of the base up north.
She did pop over there and
church guy, yeah.
She did pop over there and try to talk to him, and she came back and she said, she basically said that she couldn't get him to wake up. He was sound asleep, and she sat there for like 5 minutes and shouted his name and harassed everybody around her by doing that.
Yes, High Priest Guyveen Larry.
Yep.
He likes honey bread.
Yeah, the honey bread makes sense. I never remembered the name. God, I don't think I ever would have remembered that name.
I wouldn't either. I've just got it written down. It's the top of my my profile notes. Like, oh, that guy, right?
Yeah.
Sir, is this snow on the ground here?
It is
on this
snow
map?
on the ground. Yeah, it hasn't been blizzarding too much for you guys, but it's it's still the middle, closer to the end of winter, so things are still pretty frosty. Speaking of weather, comfy for Naya as usual in the winter months. So as the Redshift is starting to clear, Dex says, I'm most likely going to head back to the temple, at the very least, possibly all the way back to Orvis. We have plans to send a squad up here to fortify and start building this up into a proper camp. It is sort of on the front line, but better to fortify than be taken by surprise. So happy to go with you for a walk if you're going south. Otherwise, wherever you're headed.
Yeah, we should probably think about going back to Orvis as quickly as possible, handling what we need to there, and then setting out.
Yeah, that sounds acceptable to me.
Yeah.
Hopefully some of our lizard friends are hanging out by the temple.
Yeah, things have also gotten a little bit easier for you guys to traverse in the swamp as time has passed and you've learned the quick routes here and there. So just checking how long it's going to take you to get back. 1, 2, 3. That's 4. So it would be 5. It would basically be 5 days flat to either Orvis or the shoreline fort. And then from there, you'd be able to set off again to wherever you wish.
I think we should probably go back to Orvis.
Yeah, you think escort Dex back and
yeah,
then stock up and head to the port?
Yeah, and dump off this bag of treasure and Veshin coins we've got here. Now that we know the value of it and they're expecting it here.
I will remind you that Castus and Harpum are well in working order at this point, so things like dropping off stuff and supplying up can be done in those places too.
Okay. I also wanted to see if Pontus can do something with this land here.
Likewise, the Salamander Man leather.
Yep. See if you can get a shirt to match your pants there.
Yeah. Like some kind of outer jacket, really, is what I'm thinking, so I can keep the gold going on. Get a red and gold motif going. Maybe you could use maybe use its hood because it was like a cobra-like guy as like an actual hood. It's like
that'll have to wait till the next one. We pretty well butchered the last one.
Oh, we could faux it.
If I remember correctly, you guys did not do super great on those.
No, we sucked horribly on the survival roll.
Dissection.
We were lucky to get what we got.
Got a little bit.
There ought to be enough there for one gnome-sized great jacket or great cloak.
You imagine you might just barely be able to get enough yet.
I'm even a short gnome.
All right, then. Well, it will take you guys 5 days to get to Orvis.
Sounds good.
If you guys want to move your token there, you can be there right away. Unless you want to make any detours first.
No, I didn't have any plans for detours. Anybody else?
No.
Nope, I'm good.
Yeah, there's nothing there that I'm seeing.
Naya, did you want to take a frolic in some random little spot before we go back? I think we're good.
No, she was frolicking in the snow.
Oh, yes, that's true. She would be in her element right now. You actually have cold resistance, don't you?
Yep.
Damn, that's actually really smart. I'm thinking about, like, not only being able to use the cold breath because it gets through a lot of resistances, but being, like, resistant to inclement weather that is cold and, cold regions just naturally. That's a pretty sweet advantage.
Well, yeah, but I mean, other people have like fire and heat resistances. Those are super handy under other conditions. So
I look like a rock.
There's like literally a season of the year where cold resistance is just the thing, though. So it's pretty sweet.
IRL, the one thing I cannot stand is cold, and like everybody's favorite thing to hate on is heat, but I hate the cold. The heat, I'll just take my clothes off until I'm sitting around in a fucking Speedo or some shit. Sorry. But sorry, I'm not modest, so I can just take clothes off and sit in a cool bath or whatever. If I'm in Southern California, fuck, man, it's the one thing I'm not looking forward to.
Hey, you're going to be able to have the most kick-ass AC. You can have 2 AC systems.
Oh, I have the goddamn ocean if I really want a heat.
you can't take your skin off if it's still too hot.
That's what everybody says, but the thing is, I suffer physical pain when I'm out in the cold. It makes my lungs like shiver inside my body. I don't know how to describe it. I have no fucking cold tolerance, even after living for more than a decade in Colorado, where it literally snows feet of snow. Like, I guess it's you know what it was? I spent the first week of my life on Earth, like after I was born, in an incubator. So, fuck no.
Huh.
Bathe me in that fucking sweet, sweet vitamin D.
Yeah, but do you look like a rock? That's my special ability as Alvis Tavern.
He's a clay dwarf, so he looks like, you know.
You can do the boulder thing.
That's exactly what Alvis Tavern can do. He can do the boulder thing.
Yeah, if he's like if Ambergreen is totally naked and he like curls up, he can sort of become a Goron.
Yeah, I kind of can.
But it doesn't work.
I'm a clay dwarf, so yeah.
It doesn't work when you get close.
I wonder why it works on me while I'm wearing bright gold clothes. Do I just look like an outcrop of, you know?
Somebody.
I think you look like a vandalized rock, like one of those ones on the side of the road in, you know, long stretches of highway that say like Bob loves Mary.
Yeah.
Somebody lost their battle pennant. It just got snagged and ripped.
Okay, that's better.
Position of privilege. You are an elf.
It's my best natural defense. That's all I'm saying.
Aren't you a high elf too?
I totally am.
Oh God.
I'm even fucking snooty. I'm not so much these days, but I started out that way.
I like, oh God. Like, insufferable.
Irenaeus is not here right now. Very good. All right. Everybody else is here. Yeah, so you guys have the run of Orvis for however long you want to stick around here. You'd be getting here at nighttime probably. So it has been 5 days. So this is something to consider as you are deciding where to go next.
Shark isn't here or anything like that?
But no, you know that Sharp and the folks he's been running with, they're probably over at Keep Silex or something right now. They were actually kind of in the same area as you, but based out of Keep Ignis for a little bit. So they let you know over the communications device that they were headed up back to the front lines. So you'll probably see them in a couple weeks.
Damn. Okay. We might check out the coast.
I'm back.
Yeah,
welcome back.
Probably be a good idea.
Well, yeah, I think we want to get on that boat. We were stopping here to see about armor and stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to check in with, like I said, with Pontus about getting started on a new piece of tire.
You've got a full evening to do the things that you want to do. So, Nimbus, you can Nimbus and Alvis Tavern, you can both bring Pontus your promised materials, as you wished.
Yep, and asking what sort of materials fee that he would want to have me allocate to this, considering not at the moment, but when the accommodations are available for it, I would like to have something that, you know, the not only whatever fire resistance he's able to imbue into the clothes, but being able to have it prepped for future enchantment once we have the materials and systems for it.
Well, okay. He takes both of your items. Alvis, you have the handful of leather that you've been able to pull off and preserve.
I even suggest that you could pad out the shoulders with some rabbit pelts that I have.
And Nimbus, what was the item that you had?
It was the fire gland from the salamander.
Right. Okay, yeah, the heat generator. Got it. So
or I guess to know what he would be able to, like, fire resistance is the thing that I feel like would be most worthwhile for us, but if that's not what he's really able to do with it, then...
I also thought, Nimbus, if it generates warmth, then maybe just from what you were talking about with Naya while we were walking back, boots of warming for your cold feet, or not your cold feet, but
These boots
Amber
are
Green's
made
cold
for
feet.
warming. And that's just what they'll do.
So he takes both of these items and he says, countered a salamander, did you? I've worked with their materials before in the past. It's good stuff. This is a little bit low quality. If I had a full specimen, I might be able to make you a full suit or something like that. But well, let's see.
I was thinking a specky coat to go over this, like the ones those detectives from the sci-fi novels have.
Sci-fi?
It would be sci-fi to us.
Right, but...
Yeah, like a hard-boiled detective novel. Totally.
Yes, exactly.
You know, like those predictive future scrolls.
I didn't see predictive future. Okay, yes.
So yeah, and you like throw the rabbit pelts at him too. And he says, "Coat. Well, I mean, I do have plenty of materials to make a coat. Maybe we could turn the vest out of this leather here, and then use the rest of it to expand it a little bit.
To match my pants. Get this whole like lizard fire thing going on. Gold. Pontus, do
You
you know
should
how
get someone to
important it is
embroider
have
flames
gold?
on.
Ooh, that would be a good one. Golden flames.
Then they make you move more quickly.
Pontus, I have gold.
All right, I have two suggestions for you, but I'm open to the idea of the golden flames. Now, I could those pants that I made for you, those delightful leggings that you asked for last time.
Looks like a Matador. Who's Iron Man's enemy?
Which one?
A few.
The Mandarin.
The Mandarin,
Oh.
the one in charge of the terrorist.
I forgot about the
organizations.
Mandarin.
He's
Right,
like the
yeah.
coolest one. How could you forget about him? Every single other one sort of campy.
Because I only ever learned about him because I had the fucking click, and I was like, "Who the fuck is the Mandarin?" And is that not like
An orange?
problematic?
He was bad in the movie.
An orange?
Yeah, like a Mandarin orange.
Yeah, I got it.
That's what I always thought is like it's an
Anyway,
orange.
he says basically he has a suggestion for you. So the pants that you own right now don't really give you any direct powers. However, he says we could do a similar thing with a coat and or perhaps some bracers or something like that, or maybe boots if you want to go full in on being able to walk over coals and stuff like that. And give you that same level of like very very light fire, flame resistance, flame retardant material. Or he says he could upgrade your pants and it give you something that would actually let you, for example, like safely stand in a blazing fire for somewhere upwards of like a minute before you started to feel the effects.
So Elvis Taver, is undoing his belt right now, dropping his things and going trow.
Okay,
so Nimbus is in the room listening to you, and just
I'll throw my shield in front of him.
Oh, I'd probably be laughing.
So Albus Tavern throws his pants over the edge of the shield, like a dressing curtain.
I guess I might have Morio's old pants as well.
Yeah, I'll take that as a yes. I can. I'll wash these and then get them refitted and redone.
I'll wash these. I'll sterilize these.
And next week I'll have you some pants that'll let you stand in a bonfire. No problems, no burns.
Nice, dude.
I know. It's pretty great.
Do you use cloth of silver for that?
Yeah, how much is that?
You're giving him the material, so he'll do it for free.
Oh.
He
Can you put this strange gem from the tower in it as like the button belt or like as a centerpiece or something?
Wait, don't you have you still have like a big ass gem?
Yeah, the one from the tower. I'm not talking about the other gems that I have because I still have 4 gems.
Yeah. This is one of Arissa's, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That thing is really big. Just as a reminder.
He can have the rest of it. I just want something big enough so that I can have like a huge centerpiece or like a giant belt buckle like thing.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you're going for. He says, yeah, this is an extremely high quality. You want me to cut this into a belt piece for you?
Absolutely. You can keep the rest of it too.
I can use a ruby. Okay. Done.
Oh.
You'll have a belt.
Albus Tavern does what is colloquially known between Snipe Hunter and Ombois as the Samurai Victory Dance.
Nice.
Now for Nimbus, he says, now, this salamander heat gland, if I had several of these, there are a few things that I could do with them. It's not my expertise, but things like handheld fireballs and that sort of thing. It's something you'd really apply more to offense than defense here. But with one, your options are a little bit more limited. But if you were to find something that like a enchantment receptive material, we may be able to turn this into a well, how does explosive spearhead sound to you?
You know, that sounds
I used to play steel drum for explosive spearhead.
Pretty interesting, but actually, hey Smithy, I want to bring you into the conversation here. You obviously have been hearing. You're just right over there.
Yeah.
What could we do to infuse this into the exit point of my hand cannon such that if I want to, I can toggle for it to fire a heated shot, that it's superheated before it's blasted, or the water that projects it has some extra heat and expansive power, perhaps?
You might be able to do something.
Just needs to be the kind of the ring where it gets held in place.
Let's see. You need a little bit of material to make it happen. Probably 50 gold worth of mithril.
Oh, that's not a problem.
Following that, you'll need you'll need the item itself, but we'd have to refine it into something a little bit less organic. We'd have to kind of get the magic out of it and kind of crystallize it. If that makes any sense.
I bet Soriana could do that. She might need some materials for it, but she's probably our best bet for getting that done locally.
Yeah.
Truly an amazing alchemist.
I trust Soriana to distill moonshine.
Smitty says, "Okay, hang on. We'll go fetch her," and he'll have you all wait and return 5 minutes later with your kobold friend. And he says, "Okay, I've explained it. If you would give her the item, she can look at it. She'll take it and turn it over in her claws. And she scratches under the brim of her hat. And she says, if you want to put this in a gauntlet, you'd have to turn it into something like quartz by containing it, crushing it, distilling it, and then letting it grow again into crystals. Then we can use those to put into the gauntlet. So
it sounds like a long process.
It's not actually that bad, but you'd need something like a powerful magical acid to dissolve it in the first place. If you had something like that, I have all of the materials to make an attempt at that process.
Would a magical source, perhaps a minute's worth of dragon's breath, be powerful enough acid to melt it?
I need something that we could contain easily.
Like, I see. That would be a problem. All of my acids dissipate after they've done their bit.
It goes everywhere, and it goes very fast. I
mean, if containment's the issue, I could probably do it in the form of a chromatic orb.
Then it would just explode, basically. She says, I need to do some research. I have some ideas, but I need to see if we have anything in the Redshift zone that would work.
Any purple worms in the area?
I have a few other things I could use purple worm blood and venom and all sorts of things for, but if you run into one of those, maybe you'll kill it. Don't try.
Can we not fight a purple worm?
I don't think we run into purple worm. I think it runs into us.
You're right.
And we will try to avoid that.
I can go do some research, but if you find anything out there that you think that works as a powerful acid while you're going around, bring it back, and I can see if it'll work. Otherwise, can I hold on to this?
Certainly. You're the next one that's going to do a process with it. It would make sense to keep it in your possession so you can keep it nice and safe.
I'll keep it, and if I can find any info on what you need, what I need for this, I will tell you so that you can hopefully go find it.
Do you have a spare bottle of the size that you would need for the acid that would actually contain that sort of acid and not melt?
Oh, yeah. I can give you a flask.
Thanks. I wasn't sure if the sort of acid we're talking about is the kind that would potentially even destroy standard inert glass. But
it should be okay as long as the glass is treated for it, and I've got plenty of that. So
excellent. I will take that from you then. Thank you.
Smitty, while you're here, I was reminded, because of Nimbus, I had a theoretical question for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Can you build magical vessels? More specifically, to get to the point so I'm not being so vague, could you build perhaps a vessel for the cuteness that is the embodiment of my Keen and essence? Showing him currently the mud-riddled rat.
So you want something like Gabora, but rat-sized?
That's awfully telling. Alvistaver actually it drops jaw for a little bit. You haven't talked much about like what Gabora actually is.
That's true. I made him.
Is he your familiar? Of course you made him. That's obvious.
Yeah.
But I assumed that he was like a golem or something that you did the whole golem thing with. I admit that I only know so much as stories. I'm an aficionado for fairy tales.
I called in some favors for some parts. So the gears and the steam engines that he's got going on the inside are commissioned in a few places.
Yeah, Montlaran, exactly.
But
so
basically speaking, he's not what you'd call it. It's not what you'd call a golem. He's a like Montlaran said, it's more of an automaton. The difference is subtle.
Staver nods. So Alvistaver, he gives the TLDR of what a familiar is, and he says, "I want body kind of like only an aesthetic, kind of like your dear friends, but that this spirit could inhabit." And I was wondering if you would know how to create such a device, if one could be created.
Well, how big are you thinking? Like, what's your plan here?
OOC, rodent of unusual size. My plan is merely like a dog, you know,
a power
one
suit for
that
your
could
rat.
be protected, so that it could, you know, honestly be more useful. But Keen wants to be more useful. Yes, Montlaran, I am trying to make him a mount, but that's the long-term goal. Please, I didn't figure somebody would actually. Wow.
All right. Well,
You actually got it. God damn it. Yes, I'm trying to make a mount out of Keen, but first you need to give Keen a vesseled power armor-esque.
He's just got it. He's just got this.
Listen, son.
He's just got this wheel that he runs on in the center of this big clockwork automaton. He just runs on the little wheel in the middle.
See, I was role playing. I was going around that. Yeah. That out of character. That's what I'm thinking.
You don't need to be coy about these things with me. I'm not gonna bite your head off for coming up with some crazy idea.
But it's always better if you present it in character and all role play like, so that you can eventually go, oh, and finally.
I think he's saying Smitty's down, man.
No, he says in character. Listen, you don't have to pretend in this shop. We're all friends here, and if you want me to make you pilot suit for your familiar.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would like to happen. If you've ever seen the weird Eastern cartoons, or goddammit, not cartoons, that's not in roleplay. Fuck.
The
Evangelion style.
He says, he says, sure as hell I'm not going to give you an answer of no. Now, I did base my designs for Gabora on things that I learned and gathered throughout my career, and bits and pieces there from craftsmen and sorcerers that I was able to learn from and steal ideas from, as you do. So,
best artist steal.
I'm not unfamiliar with the idea of a familiar, you could say, possessing an object. A lot of people will do that if they want to help transport their familiar discreetly, but still have their eyes and ears on hand.
I'm being much less subtle than that, despite being of roguish qualities that some would say around the camp. I'm a lit outlandish. I wish to ride it.
The point I'm trying to make is that if we had something like that you were able to inject your pet, your familiar into, we'd then may be able to harness that as a arcane power source for this proposed suit.
Would a pearl work?
What would work? This is not my area of expertise.
Perhaps we could call Decus in here. I recently escorted him back.
Everyone is here. He'll say the actual machine itself wouldn't be hard. Creating a mechanical moving dog, we'll say, or large rat is fairly trivial.
Oh wait, we also have. Crap! I'm such an asshole. What's her name? She who now has body and spirit.
Now,
Marissa.
Yeah, I wonder if Arissa might have some keen insight into that.
there is one thing that you might consider a hitch, and I can't give you a concrete answer on this, but there's a chance that depending on how this develops, if you put your keen to some focus object and then use that focus object to power this device, it's possible she might not be able to leave it afterward.
Is that okay with you, Keen?
Keen is a mouse.
Rat.
Squeak.
So
Squeak.
she squeaks.
I think that's a yes.
If that's something you're willing to,
Wouldn't that be somewhat less useful to you then, Alice Tower?
What do you mean?
Well, if Keen gets locked into her device, object, whatever, then she can't go be your eyes and ears.
Yeah, they can.
Just much larger.
Yeah,
Well,
much larger and much less stealthy.
Yeah, there's no stealth. There's no. There's no.
Oh yeah,
sneaking around, and
absolutely.
so she loses a lot of her utility for you as a familiar that you use to get information.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering about if you go too far down this path, and then, as has been mentioned, she gets focused and then kind of stuck in her object or device, then all utility is lost, and you kind of lost the value of your familiar for that purpose.
The stealth utility would be lost. Yeah, absolutely.
But you'd be able to take. Yeah.
Be able to.
Well,
Just something to think about.
Again, I can't give you any promises about how this thing is going to work. I haven't done anything quite of this material before. I can see the parts all coming together up there in the ether, but it's all hypothetical until we get it on the ground.
So what steps would you need? I can do work for you. I go out into the weirdness, but tomorrow morning, or whatever, and how much time?
The suit's going to be pretty expensive. It'll run you a few hundred at least. But if you find me more stuff like those brass things that you all crushed and destroyed last couple years ago,
Yes.
We can get some work done. In the meantime, the next best thing you're going to have to do is this is a little more whimsical than the type of work I like to do, but you're going to have to figure out what kind of focus Keen is going to be able to essentially turn into.
What kind of focus?
Some kind of obviously it has to be a sturdy, durable,
like
magically receptive object.
The phylactery of a lich.
Don't you mean a Horcrux?
Fuck off.
Shame. That's my son.
Shame.
You could kind of think of it like that.
I was testing you.
In a matter of speaking, you'd be putting part of yourself as your familiar into this thing.
That just kind of adds to the whimsy for Elvis Taver. It's like a step on him becoming a powerful and mysterious person.
If you can find something like that, we might be able to experiment.
Forget the pearl from the snake eyes. Let the base have that. I get that there must be things in here. A very heavy gargoyle's head. Oh. Yes. What about this?
Statue?
No, it's a gargoyle. It was a gargoyle.
It was a gargoyle.
Is it now a statue technically? Does being the corpse of a gargoyle not give it property? Damn.
As far as gargoyles go, once you kind of remove the spirit of the earth elemental that's in them, they're just rocks.
Oh. Fuck. I wonder what I was thinking about this. Why did I want a gargoyle head?
I think you thought there was something in it, or like it was a key or something. I don't know, though.
Huh. And this is for you, Smithy.
Well, you just give him the head.
Yep.
Nice way to offload your junk.
It's a fine craftsmanship, and I thought of you.
It's very rare.
He'll just scoot it over to the far end of the table. Leave it there.
Thanks.
I rolled a 20 in deception, and charisma is not my high stat. I have a -1 in charisma.
Are you deceiving him that it's good? Like good loot?
No, I'm deceiving him that I legitimately thought of him when I thought of the fine craftsmanship when I got it. It's much more devious than if I actually thought it was good loot.
Yeah.
Starker's the kind of evil that's like, I want to be cool.
He says, but he says, so for the focus, no way around it. You're gonna have to do some soul searching, and I hate to say something so loose and magic-y, but that's how it's got to be for this sort of thing to work.
I understand, Senpai.
If you come up with something, then we can try it.
Ob's Tavern nods, determined, carrying the little rat between him. All right. Yeah. Okay. New quest. Find foci.
What? I can't seem to find the handout. I guess it's on the OneNote thing.
Which one?
The potions.
The potions, they are in the OneNote.
And did those get upgraded? Are there any new ones now that it's level 5?
So she'll have where did it go? There it is. She will have unfortunately Soriana's shop is based on even number upgrades. So she will have 2 potions for sale that you guys can buy per downtime, basically. She still has the potions of healing, potions of climbing, potions of poison, potions of water breathing. If you want any of those.
Yeah, I'll grab.
We might want to grab at least 1 water breathing before we go off to the coast.
Well, Naya's got water breathing as a spell.
Yep.
We could also get the deep scepter.
We should probably
water
get
breathing
the deep
and water
scepter.
walking.
So
no need to breathe.
Unless there's some objective underwater.
Well, then there's water breathing.
Yep.
Here's what I'm thinking. I kind of think we should bring some rope and a couple of potions of climbing. And if we run into a situation where we're not able to progress, except, being able to climb a long height.
What does a potion of climbing do?
It grants you a climbing speed for an hour, which basically means any difficult climbing would be not difficult anymore for you.
You don't have to roll for climb anymore.
Yeah. Naya, I know you have a couple animals that have climb speeds already, so
yeah, I was trying to imagine Naya the Dragonborn climbing quickly. I mean, as it is, she waddles.
No, you have really great upper body strength, despite not training in it because of your Dragonborn muscularity, and so you can just lift your own body weight at least all the way up a rope. That's how I imagine it, at least. Like one of those power lifters who's able to lift themselves.
Right, just ridiculous upper body. Doesn't even engage the legs at all.
Okay, that's different than I imagined it.
Oh, you could also Andre the Giant it, too, which is good. If you remember the scene from Princess Bride.
The Cliffs of Insanity. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Then you could do it that way.
Funny shit.
I recently watched that because one of my partners had not seen it before.
There's some good stuff in that movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I even understand all of the bullshit fencing talk that they're saying in the duel between
that's like the best scene, man.
And the mask, in the black mask.
It makes it so much better when actually when you have Verde in the room, because I didn't know what any of those techniques actually were, but I'd known the word since I was a teenager. But then my son goes, so check it out, pause it. So when he says this, it's because you do this. In this form, you stand like this. And in this other form, you stand like this. And so in this case, this is better. But as they say in the scene, in this case, this is better. And then he just basically walked me through it, showing me all the styles. I was just,
that's great.
It's not
it's so much better now
with me, without me actually showing you guys. So I won't go through the technical talk. And what's even weirder is one of them isn't really even a fencing style. It's a reference to some guy shitting on another guy's fencing style. In particular, what this guy was doing is he won offhandedly a duel. Both of these are set in quotes, right? When he drunkenly, the guy who this guy is shitting on, the guy drunkenly refused to pay an oarsman for taking him across the canal, and then picked up one of the oars and was standing above him and smacked him across the face in this particular way of holding your sword. And that is why that style defense, if you were to take into context who that guy was and what was talked about.
Is that Benetti?
Yeah, it's Benetti. Benetti has an interesting combat style, but in the context of how he's fighting, it's looking down on your opponent and holding your sword in a certain whimsy kind of way to block somebody's.
It's the shit you used to do when you were 16 and 17, and you would step in on that and do that imperious like looking down your sword thing.
Kind of, but it's more windshield. It's more windshield wipey than that too. I would never take Benetti's defense for blocking. I would go up into what they call a Benetti's defense or Benetti's hand, and then just lunge down the fucking middle after I.
Yeah, I've seen you do that.
But yeah, Benetti never actually had a Benetti's defense. That is all contextual reference that the fencing community has come up with because of this one note of Benetti, who was a fencing master, who this other guy who wasn't even Benetti was shitting on. Because Benetti was kind of a drunken mercenary asshole, but all of it.
So,
I'm sorry, that's
climbing. Is that something we're worried about or no?
I mean, it is a tower climbing, but I don't think I could afford one. So
maybe the context that I'm hearing this is a bit wrong, but the question that was asked before the climbing and the rope stuff was brought up was about going underwater. And so what I'm imagining, because there's water involved, is that you're thinking of putting the rope at the top of a boat or something, and then we all tie rocks to our feet and then go down, explore, take a climbing potion when we feel like we need to take a breath and then climb up. What's the rope for?
Well, we're also visiting a structure we can see from here, so there might be climbing involved.
It's so that one person can climb up a space, tie a rope that we can all go up.
Okay. No. Yep. Now I understand. All right.
It is a tower.
I was wondering.
We might not need to, because the world has been designed such that there's an way to get up, just in case it's necessary.
Yep. Nope. I'm an idiot.
Right. Between Naya's ability to turn into a climbing creature and my ability to, levitate for a little while, it's not dire that we buy those. I think maybe a couple potions of healing would be worthwhile.
Yeah, I think healing potions for sure.
I don't know.
Also,
how much are they again, sir?
I think only paladins trust in world design.
Yeah, you can get a total of 2 potions, and the potions of healing are 25, potions of climbing are 25.
And I think before we go to the coast, we should equip Naya with the deep scepter and myself with the blue dagger.
Why?
I think the Deep Scepter is a good idea in case we come across a beast that we need to take control of, but I don't know that we need to have the dagger.
Well, the dagger was just extra damage, wasn't it? And now that it's like almost a pseudo-useless key, it's a hindrance if we don't take it. Or it's not a hindrance.
Possible
it's just
hindrance if we
utilizing
do
it.
take it.
Well,
Why?
If we, don't come back, then they only lose the scepter, not the scepter and the dagger.
Yep, that's fair.
But that is absolutely fair in the idea of like magic items and Darkest Dungeon, but like they're not like the key's broken.
I wouldn't declare it broken. There's still
we're still working the problem
We're
ourselves.
still working that out.
The only reason why the scepter would be remotely appropriate for this is because we might come across a water beast, and instead of it destroying our ship, we could take control of it and have it protect us, or even push us along. So, for safety's sake,
I could also change up my spells so that I can speak with animals or turn an animal into a friend. I have that capacity. I just have to prepare the spell. If we really think that that's a possibility.
Then maybe we should leave both of them there instead then.
Oh, I think it is. Definitely.
Well, I also think that, like, to not utilize the magic item in general. I forgot what the secondary ability was.
It's just a single charge of 6d6 necrotic.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I think that kind of magic item too, and I did lose a lot of magic items in Darkest Dungeon, so I am not the best when it comes to keeping that shit. But I am under the opinion if you have it, you should use it. Especially when it's something like that.
Yeah, I think I kind of disagree. Simply because those specific items were designed to become a key.
Well, yeah,
using any of them individually could negate the possibility of them combining to become a key.
When did that become a possibility?
What? That's always been the possibility.
Oh no, because then we wouldn't argue to use them at all. Then
nobody's been arguing to use them except you, which is why I'm trying to illuminate that each one of those three things was the part of a key. The three things together become a key.
I understand that, and only tonight have I been opting to use them, but I have also heard other people suggest that they could have been used in other situations.
Sure. No, I mean, and there's no question that the scepter's secondary ability would be useful on a boat.
Absolutely. But if Naya thinks that she could do it with her spells, then we don't need to bring the scepter, which means that we should just use the thing that would give us more damage output.
Right. I don't actually have a way to confirm my suspicions, but I don't actually think that the three items combined, I think each one is individually a key, because that's how it was described to us.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a risk of using one or even both. I think the risk is leaving one or both in the hands of somebody who might have a way to get the third.
I mean,
so you have to not use them at all, which is also an option. I'm totally.
Well, I think one at a time is fine, because that way we still control one of the triumvirate.
So if Naya can do all the things that the scepter can do, then we can leave.
Then we bring the dagger, exactly.
We can bring the dagger.
Yeah, I'm with you. No, that makes perfect sense to me.
All right, and what is it that the scepter is supposed to be able to do?
It controls water creatures.
Yep, you can use the Dominate Beast spell with it.
It has a DC of 15. The scepter regains 1d3 charges upon completion of a long race. So even the charges, if the key's magic thing was specific to it, it wouldn't matter. Because it could just regain all of its charges again.
Yeah, as long as it's not lost or damaged, it should be fine.
But you said you could make a beast your friend, which is similar to dominate
Well,
beast, but not the same.
It is not the same. I cannot dominate a beast. Not with the spells I currently have. I can convince a beast that I mean it no harm. I can make a telepathic link with a beast. I can
Yeah, you don't have
speak
the
with
take total
animals.
control spell yet.
I can ask an animal to deliver a message.
I
I
can
mean, there's a
only
lot of
charm.
shit that I can do, but I can't do that.
I can charm and I can command, but only
But
things. That
honestly, you have made some pretty good arguments, and you're a good person. I remember how you've dealt with the horse. I trust your current abilities. I think we should leave the deep scepter and maybe bring the dagger along and attach it to the end of my whip.
I'm gonna have backbone, disagree, and commit.
If anybody's gonna be using that dagger, I trust that they would use it from their own hand, not tied to a whip.
Not tied to a whip, securely fastened with a special.
Yeah, his whip is actually made for that.
Yeah, my whip is made for that. I have a dagger whip now that does slashing damage. I could take this dagger off that's currently on it and put the magical one on it, and then I not only have a magical weapon dealing slashing damage, which is its own thing, but one that has a charge
D66, yeah.
which gets put on top of my sneaking damage.
Can you actually activate that 66 effect while you're whipping?
He should be. He's still technically touching it.
Is he touching it, or is the whip
technically touching it? And it's focused to me, and focus has its own rules that are about like 5 or 15 feet. And my whip,
attuned, yeah.
Yeah, attuned. Sorry, when you're attuned to it, right? It has to be like 5 or 15 feet away from you. It like I'm pretty sure it all works out. And it gets unattuned to you not if you just like drop it either. It's like something has to happen. Somebody has to take possession of it.
Don't drop it in the ocean, though.
Don't drop it in the ocean, though. Which it's attached to a rope that's attached to my hand or to, my belt.
So magic-seeking creatures might bite it, and then you'll be fishing.
I have a land. Yeah, they'd be fishing me. I have a special dangly. It's like a what do you call them? Like
I have a special dangly.
Oh my!
Yeah, Albus Tabor's light enough that if you guys try to catch a shark, he'll probably
he'll go right fucking overboard.
But no. I trust Naya's abilities for water animals and things like that, and we are definitely still engaging with the key business. So I think we should keep the scepter here. Bring the dagger along and attach it to the end of my whip.
Like I said, just to be clear, I cannot do those things that the scepter can do.
You can't do dominate animals, so that's why the scepter would actually be the one to bring, because that adds a utility. We can do damage. We can do damage for days.
I do think the scepter is helpful.
That's just doing on top of what she can already do, but naturally she has enough abilities to deal with animals. She's proven it before.
Right, but a Kraken might be out of her league.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No disrespect.
Kraken would also beat a DC 15 check on Dominate.
It's interesting.
It might. It's a 4th level spell, so we don't have access to it, for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. So are we going to bring any of them along?
I'm fine with leaving them.
You have access to them.
I'm fine leaving them with the Brigadier.
Leaving them both. We
all
leave
of them.
both with
Yes.
the Brigadier. Yeah, okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay then.
Sure.
I'll get 2 potions of healing then. That's 50 marks. And then, is it 2 potions per person or 2 potions period?
2 potions period.
Okay. Unless somebody wanted to get any other potion.
No, I think that's fine, dude.
Okay. All right. And I guess before we leave, I want to pick up at least enough materials to make a level 3 spell, should we end up camping out there instead.
That'll be fine. Yeah. Okay, I think what we're gonna do is you guys can, so you're getting the, what did you say, healing and climbing?
No, 2 healing.
2 healing? Okay, that's 50 total. And then you guys can restock on your rations and everything if you need them. And then I think best thing to do now is to next week set off from the boat base and send you guys over to that tower.
Yeah, I figured we would basically go there and long rest.
Yeah. Okay then. So we'll do that, and we'll get you guys started next time.
Okay.
All
Sounds good, man. Thanks for the session, dude.
Absolutely. Yep. Thanks for playing.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Hopefully next week we'll go a little bit longer and we'll get things done.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. See you guys then.
See you guys later.
Bye, everyone.
Later, folks. Thanks for watching.